So I've gone ahead and opened up FCT Petersburg AK, and I'm going to enable the editing, and I'm going to be saving this into the Word S4 folder with a 4 and a dash at the beginning of the name. And then my first step is going to be to go to the very bottom of the document. So I'm going to press Control and End, E-N-D. And I'm going to go into the Insert ribbon. And I'm going to insert a document into this document. So in order to do that, I need to click the Object button, which is way the heck over here. And I'm actually going to click on the list arrow, and we want to pull in a text file, text from a file. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And we do need to be in the Word S4 folder. So if you don't see Word S4, you do need to navigate to it. And what we're going to be pulling in is FCT Petersburg activities. So we're going to select that and click on Insert. And it pulled in that text. Most of the time, if you want to bring in text from another document, you're probably copying and pasting. However, if you take the Word Mouse Certification Exam, you have to pull in text using Object and Text from File. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, this is how you do it if you cannot copy and paste. Now we are going to go through and format this thing. And the first thing we're going to do is select that text that we just inserted, and we're going to change the font so it matches the rest of the document. And so we're changing it to Constantia. And then we're going to go to the top. I'm going to press Control and Home. And then my title, Petersburg, Alaska. I'm going to do a heading 1 style on that. And then for my subheadings, starting with services, I'm going to do a heading 2 style. The visitor attractions also needs a heading 2. I'm just going to press F4. I'm going to come down here, walking tours, F4. Accommodations, pressing F4. Transportation, I pressed F4. And guided activities, I'm also pressing F4. Now they want us at the beginning of the first paragraph in the document. So I'm going to press Control and Home. I'm going to click right at the beginning of that very first paragraph. And we're going to go ahead and go into the Layout tab. And they want us to do a break. This isn't going to be a page break though. This is going to be a section break. So we're going to click on breaks, and we're going to do a continuous section break. Now it looks like we did nothing, but we'll go to Home and turn on Show Hide so you can see that it did put in the section break. You will add section breaks to a document if you want different page numbering styles, or in this case, we're actually going to be splitting the document into columns. We don't necessarily want the title to go in a column, so we put in a section break to separate them. So you want to make sure your insertion point is below the section break. Then we're going to go into Layout, and we're going to click the column button, and they want us to choose 3. So what you have are 3 columns below the section break. You will notice that it does not affect our title because it's in a separate section of the document. And now they would like us to change the columns to 2. They would also like us to adjust the space between the columns. So if we click on the columns, we can go into more columns, which puts us in a dialog box. And this lets us do some customizing to the columns that we have. And where it's got spacing, we're going to bump that up to 0.7. And you'll notice if you add more spacing between your columns, then the columns themselves are going to be a little smaller. And they want us to make sure there's a check mark under equal column width, and there is. And they would also like a line to show up between the columns. So we'll go ahead and put a little check mark there as well. And then we're going to click OK. So we should have 2 columns with a line between. Now the line isn't showing on this second page because we only have 1 column there. So our insertion mark should still be right in front of Petersburg, Alaska, our first paragraph. And what we're going to do next is add a page number to the bottom of the page. So basically we're going to be adding a footer that's got a page number in it. So we're going to go to Insert. I'm going to click on the page number arrow. We want bottom of the page, and we just want a plain number. Okay, so you will see the footer pane with the plain page number displayed. And we'll go ahead and close out of that. And now they want us to move to the very bottom of the document, so I'm going to press Control and End. And to balance out the columns, okay, so instead of just having this kind of dangling column, if we wanted this into 2 columns that were balanced, what we have to do is add another section break to this. So we're going to go into Layout, go into Break, and we're going to add another continuous section break. And you can see what that does by adding that to the end. It takes that last column and it breaks it into 2. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and save our changes.